going to be Odium. And I think they showed some real good signs against Bliss. Like, taking Bliss to overtime is no small feat. But against Rapid Response Regiment, who looked super good so far in Stage 2, it's a tall order.
That's right, Rapid Response Regiment sit at the very top of the standings. The only team that matches their points at the moment is Team Bliss. But of course, Bliss already... Oh, and Kelton's Knights. But both of them have already played today, Rapid Response Regiment. They get any points out of this game, and they will take top of the standings back once again. They get the full 3 points, and they will be looking pretty damn hot for that major spot. Monty. But let's dig into the bans. What is that? The Monty pick. Is that a Nate ban we're seeing from Odium?
That's exactly what my thought was as well. I thought, Monty, why have they done that? And I looked at the lineup of a Rapid Response Regiment and thought, oh, of course, Nate is on the other side of it. So that's certainly what could have happened there. Hibana being taken out as well does make, you know, some of your hard breach a little more challenging, like getting up in your hatches and stuff. You've got to bring the secondary charge instead of Hibana, blah, 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 that type of thing. Bandit as well. Taking out Bandit does mean that he's playing Pokemon? Is he playing Pokemon on a DS? Is that what's going on there? Okay. Well, we can't say that though, can we?
No, we can't say that word.
Sorry, whoops. That was a bad word on the broadcast. Yeah, some arbitrary game. We don't know. Anyway.
Oceania League is back, and we are here getting into the final game of Playday 4. This is a banging matchup, Mandy. Odium versus RRR on Clubhouse. This is the battle of wits, the battle of mental, the battle of former teammates with a score to settle.
Woo, I'm so excited for this one. Finally, we're getting into it, like actually getting into it, and you don't need to listen to us talk a bunch of rubbish about the video game instead. Oh, what? You still need to listen. Actually, yeah, I was going to say, you still do need to talk to us about video game rubbish, but it's less rubbish, it's more about the actual video game.
That's right, we'll have more video game to talk about as we get into RRR, starting on the defense here. Keeping in mind, as we said before we went to that break, this is a map that Odium managed to beat Mammothon, but it was a very tight 8-6 last week. RRR decided to go to Clubhouse here, and there's a lot on the line for these teams, that's for damn sure. More than for, I think, any match we've seen this season so far.
It's about the mental game, you know? You got to win it in the brain as well as in the game. So here we go. This is RRR starting out on their defense down in the basement. They're going to extend up all the way throughout the map. Odium, though, that's a real quick entry from Bappin through the ground floor.
That's right, a very quick lurk. A nice little 2-punch on the barricade gets him in, making minimal sound. I assume there's some kind of drone watching. I don't see anyone on a drone. This could just be a bit of a gamble, but he is completely castled off. This is a very heavy roam from RRR, but Bappin does have the utility to get through that.
Oh, interesting. They're actually sending 2 players in through the ground floor to try and cut off this roam game. Remember, the fall-off route for the roamers of RRR is going to be to come back to bar and then fall back down into the side again once again, right? So for Odium, they want to get in nice and early and put some players in cut-off positions before they then flush out the roam clear.
Well, the drone work is being done now by both Saved and Karma to clear out this ground floor. Logic remains up above, with the hatch looking down onto pool table where the castle barricade still sits. There's also Pinku just by his side in Master. Quite a few players from RRR on this roam at the moment, but you can tell Odium are completely aware.
Yeah, so it's Logic on the other side of this 1 versus 1 happening at the balcony pressure. Of course, starting to come out for Odium as they mount their attack. Meanwhile, it does seem like they've made quick work here off the ground floor, the blue hatch being opened immediately, but they still need to worry about these 2 roamers in the top floor.
How will Odium deal with these roamers? Will they look to flood them? Or will they look to ignore and prioritize the hatch? As we can see the Ram getting to work, opening a lot of lines of sight onto that Arsenal bomb site downstairs.
It does seem like ignore and then play the cutoff is the plan here for Odium as they mount their attack. Like you're saying, the vertical pressure now starting to come up for Karma. So they're cutting their corners here and moving on straight through the mid-round. And with 1 minute left to go, I think they've got to. Yeah,
this is a slow attack so far. But Odium have made good progress. Now Karma feeling a bit of pressure as the impact hole above him from Pinku made him get out of kitchen. But the hatch is open and Odium need to start prepping for their next execute.
I do wonder when these roamers are going to fall off because Logic is going to look to drop down the hatch, so is Pinku on the vertical. But Saved is actually on the other side watching this hatch drop happen, right?
Karma.
So hang on a moment. Karma, though, he's made his entry into the bomb site and completely vacated it for Odium.
Beautiful play using the Rams Boogie drone to get in and break that castle barricade, immediately erupting on the back of it, and Odium have got the read. Nate in a 1v5, not a single kill to be found by RRR. And Odium are going to be ecstatic with the first round.
His hat lights
Save
up!
is positively glowing. And these guys are ready to cook.
That's so sick, his hat lights up. But yeah, that is awesome from Odium. What a great plan they had going into that round. They decided to essentially like call the bluff of RRR, right? Realize, okay, they've got to come back eventually, but they're not coming back now, right? So let's just hit the bomb site. And as a result, they really open it up for themselves to collapse in. Saved was in the perfect position there to actually cut off the roams as well as the rest of his players, and teammates then went to hit the bomb site. So really great stuff from Odium to essentially slice the defense in half, but still be able to put the focus on both sides and keep tabs on their enemies.
We always love seeing new operators utilized to their maximum effect, and that's what we saw from Ram just there in that round. Of course, most people think of it the basic way to use Ram. Tear up the floor. It's like a free buck, I guess. You get to open up a lot of floor really easily, really safely. But how Karma used it in the late round to destroy that castle barricade on the dirt tunnel and then immediately have gone up looking at two players. That is the kind of game-winning or round-winning play that will make the difference here in this game.
Exciting stuff already on the first round of Clubhouse. You can tell that this one is already cooking up to be a good series. It seems like RRR are going to change their approach. They are not going to go back down to the basement with their plans foiled by Odium, and instead they're going to go over to gym and bedroom. I do like this actually, prepping that doorway that goes into gym so the player inside a bathroom can make a quick rotate and they just need to hit it once and make their way in. But of course, that does work for the attackers as well. So if they rush in through the breach and they realize that the castle's prepped, they just got to hit it once and they can get in too. So double-edged sword, but you know, good planning.
I guess the assumption is that the attackers won't know it's been prepped.
That is the assumption.
Well, let's have a look at this hard breach. Cairo is going to begin opening up this con wall to start with his second exothermic. It looks like the first has already been used over on the CCTV side. President will be the man to breach the main site wall and potentially even that bathroom wall. This is a good amount of hard breach here, and overall a really good, very pacey attack from Odium.
Yeah, so the good thing about these bans is, of course, you've got your Maverick and your Thatchers in, and so opening walls should be easy. It's not like there's any wall denial anyway, except for Edpan on the Kaid, who looks like he's going to actually trick the Jacuzzi wall, just as I say that the minigame is starting to go out. So that castle barricade will have to go down before the wall gets open, and there we go. That's the first actually both exothermic charges now tricked from Eddie, so that wall is going to stay shut.
I'm not sure how many Selma's ace still has remaining.
I think he's got one, right?
We'll see in a second once he gets to turn. Okay, two still remaining. So he's played pretty safe here, but that's one less gadget to use on the mirrors as well. Yeah. So this is not easy here for Odium. Yeah,
this is a rough spot now. Meanwhile, though, Bappin is down in the ground floor, anticipating that there is a slight roam presence going on the other side of that. I believe it is Logic, of course, with that 1.5 is anticipating the entry to come in through kitchen, but does he know that Bappin's here?
Oh, he got spotted and Bappin takes him out. Opening pick once again for Odium, double down. And this is very awkward now for RRR. They've talked a lot of smack in the pregame. Let's see if they can deliver. One kill taken back again, but saved for the trade. 4v2 for Odium is saved. Starts to push onto site. Eddie is in a world of pain. But if he can find a kill or two here, this round could turn on its head. Not going to happen. President to get his kill. It's all up to Tuhan now. As President forces that diffuser down. A C4. Gonna get anything as of yet, and this is a nigh impossible task now. As you can see, Tuhan's got absolutely no clue. One kill. Surely not two more given to him. Oh, Bappin's in the corner here, and Tuhan wins the fight! No way! You can't allow this to happen. That diffuser is in a very awkward position now for Tui. As his former teammate Cairo sits on the windows, the jump out is not going to work. Tuhan, he's going to win the fight. Surely not. Cairo plays it to perfection and locks in that 1v1 for Odium.
Yeah, really nice once again for Odium to find their way in through that early to mid round. Unfortunately for RRR, both rounds in a row now, they have lost that opening pick, and then Odium have completely snowballed both rounds off the back of that, right? So once again, as soon as they had their in onto the bomb site, they fully collapsed in on it and converted that into the round win.
Yeah, damn. This is a pretty damn good start for Odium. This is not at all what RRR were looking for. Looking like an attacker-favored Clubhouse. Either that or Odium are just absolutely laughing right now.
they're actually doing it. Like, they're playing some really good, like, Clubhouse at the moment, right? They've got a good plan going into the rounds. Not just that, but both rounds they've proven to us that they can be an opportunistic team as well, right? Even though the Clubhouse is one of the more checklisty maps, as soon as they see an opportunity, they do know how to capitalize on it. So far, some really good stuff for Odium. It's now on the onus of RRR to actually put up more of a fight.
Yeah, because they haven't really put up a fight in these first 2 rounds, that's for damn sure. The one thing that really impresses me about Odium, of course, they're good at just getting breaches, getting the tick boxes done, but as soon as they have an advantage, as soon as they have a pick, they all spring into action. They are so in sync. And it's because all these players seem to really have the same idea of what this team's playstyle is, and that is capitalizing on aggression at a moment's notice. They do not waste time. They spend a lot of the round preparing and breaching, and then as soon as there's an opening found, which has happened 2 rounds in a row now, and Odium players just found a pick, they all just go in.
Yeah, and I think that's just like the calling power of the team. You know, how vocal is your team going to be on some of those opportunities? Like for some of the teams in OCE, there are so many of these teams that I see as like really high potential teams, right? There are so many teams that do the right thing. I would say all 8 teams in the bracket actually do the right thing on every single map that we've seen played. But there's a difference between doing the checklist and then doing the checklist and being willing to divert from the plan upon an opportunity. Wow, another difficult tongue twister coming out from me. So yeah, I feel like Odium are one of those teams that are starting to lean into that like more advanced read of the game.
And it's very frustrating to play against, especially when one tiny linchpin falls and then the round has disappeared on your hands. So once again, Odium on this attack, but this time it's to a very different bomb site. Bar and stage, almost an early pick for Karma there. He's worried about a couple of windows, but now RRR have to have concern for the breach on the jacuzzi wall.
Seems to be a full map sweep is what Odium are going for. Kyra is going to be met by Eddie on the other side, holding an off angle onto the breach, and that's the first pick finally going in the way of RRR.
Yeah, the first time so far this game. Eddie on the dock, holding this position. Oh, guess what? That's perfect. Nice stim, back to full HP. Logic is continuing to hold this angle. But that P90 does not pack a punch, so he will need to land a headshot to win this fight. Eddie looking for a second from the exact same position. Oh, he times it to perfection. Whether deliberate or not, that's a massive boon here for RRR, but not when they lose so many players so quickly. President must deliver more to his team than that. Now in the numbers disadvantage, looking for a second. There's Log gone down.
2 versus 2 now. Situational moment here for RRR, but they're starting to lose out. Save has clawed his way down into the bomb site, and President's going to join him.
They must 2v1 this position. Nate has proven over time to be a clutch god. There's information there. Save is getting pinged. That's going to force him to move. Does he have the read? He lands the first bullet, but not the last. Nate now in a 1v1 against President. He's already found quite a few frags this game, but will he be able to get the one that matters? In the 1 versus 1, Nate knows exactly where he is, spots his head, and gets enough shots to get the clutch. Log's fired up after that one, but Nate, look at his face, cool and calm, unconcerned. The 1v2 for RRR.
Yeah, really good stuff there from the 2 remaining players of RRR to claw that one over the line, especially Nate there, the only player remaining on the bomb side. It was pretty much a massive tussle on the top floor, right? They threw bodies straight at the defenders. Not just that, but the defense of that top floor refused to fall off from that position, right? They were there to die. They were there to play and to die in that position. And so they were holding on to it for as long as they could. Eddie almost did some fantastic work here on the top floor. He was able to get 1, but just looked away at the wrong time to President, who then capitalized on that opportunity for 2. But unfortunately, Nate was the one anchor that they needed on the bomb site to push it over the line.
The most experienced, the new pickup for RRR. He comes through in the clutch moments. But credit to President. He's had a good game so far. A lot of people would say, what is Odium? It's 4 fraggers and President on support, but that is not at all what he's showing so far. He might have copped a bit of flack on Twitter, got caught in the crossfire by Log, but he got the last laugh as he took down Log in that round.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? Log has gone down. Right now, Prez is winning. That's all I'm saying.
Keep an eye on the KD, the Prez versus Log KD.
Prez versus Log. Oh, it's so cool because they're like lined up in the scoreline and everything for us, so it's like, this is good. This is good content for us anyway. So it does look like they're going to go back down to the basement, but they're looking to do a different philosophy. They're not going to do that extended roam through all 3 floors because they realize Odium are great at injecting themselves in the building and slicing their plans in half. So they're going to look to do something more anchor focused, play a more disciplined game, and give Odium a little bit more of the map to work with, but at least keep their lives on the bomb side.
Oh, perfect timing from Pinku. No information. Does it matter? Absolutely not. He is aware, as he always is. That's a great opener. The second round in a row that RRR have found the opening kill. Without BAP and without their star player, Odium, will need to accelerate this clear.
And accelerate they shall. The first breach now open over on CCTV, but Tuhan's going to get aggressive on it. Not quite able to land the shots he needs to secure the kill, and Kyra's going to get away with his life.
Not looking to recontest there is Kyra. He knows his utility. His one exothermic charge remaining is too valuable, but no! He overpeaks into Pinku anyway. RRR are completely fired up. And Nate goes for a flank! Mandy, what is this?
What is going on through this mid-round? It feels like Odium cannot even get an inch into the building, but the moment I say that, Save lands a nice shot onto Logic. President, though, with the pressure coming out from Dirt, but is it too late? There are two players back on the bomb site that can be caught in that crossfire, and in fact, his teammate to go down is going to leave him all on his lonesome.
Another kill outside the building as well. Demonstrates how aggressive RRR are playing right now. President in a 1v4, as you can see, Nate's shuffling around his Fenrir FNATs. Tuhan's detonating some of his Vulcan canisters. President looking to farm the KD a little bit, but I have no doubt that the call has come out in the RRR voice comms. Guys, let's go hunting.
President doesn't look like he's going to give them anything, though, with a minute left of the round. It's a good time to just cool off and take an impromptu tactical timeout. Well, okay, look, that might not happen if Tuhan decides to go for it, which is very possible.
Should President just be sitting out the building right now? Should he really be trying for this? Or
well, how much do you have to talk about, right? Like, realistically, if you are Odium. Like, you've said what you need to say. Now they're probably like, okay, we've got the plan for the next round, President. Good luck.
Maybe it's just a mental thing as well. President, if he gets a kill or something here, that's a good look. Might buff him up a little bit. If he just sits and hides, then I'm sure that they'd have some choice words for him, and maybe that would get into the mental. So if anything, this is just President composing. He's going to get swung. Tuhan is so hungry for it. With Pro with the pistol, the hipfire shot is enough. No refrag from RRR, not looking to feed. Of course, there is no time realistically to clutch this from Prez unless if RRR completely feed it. But Nate will find that last kill with the Fenrir. And we are at an impasse, 2 rounds apiece.
Yeah, not bad there from RRR. Hey, they played the early game super well. I really think that the onus was there on Pinku in the early round where he got that first really nice pick onto Secret. It was all timing, all game sense for that one. Not just that, but he doubled down with the second as well. So yeah, bang, what a crazy shot.
What do you do? If you're bapping, like what you watch that back and you're like, okay, what can I do better?
Just accept.
Just accept that you have lost.
Yes, accept defeat. You have lost.
Well, that was why Pinku got picked up, that's for sure. He was the star player in Stage 1 for Circular Spheres. I think him and Logic were the top-rated players if you remove Bliss.
Yeah.
If you remove Bliss, who were on another level in Stage 1, it was Log and Pinku, and now they're on the same team.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. Like Pinku, for sure. Definitely not an underrated not an underrated player, for sure, in this league, especially after the performance that he had on Circular Spheres in Stage 1, has really come into form. I hope he's found his place as well so far on this roster of RRR. I really want to see him be able to flourish on another roster as well, right? We love seeing these like new players up and coming, get really exciting in the server.
I know the attitude from RRR is that, hey, we've got Logic, Pinku, and Tuhan, 3 of the best frags in the region. Let's just go for it. But let's not forget what Nate's capable of. He's already got a 1v2 clutch this game, and Eddie as well. One of the most underrated players in the region for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Edpan has a soft spot in my heart. He's definitely by far the most underrated player in the entire league, period, I think.
Is he Uni League bro, is he?
No, he's good. He's actually really good, man. Like, he's just chilling, you know? He does what needs to be done, I think, on the team, right? And not only that, he's actually good at fragging too, so man is good at his job. Anyway.
And let's not forget the Odium are as well. Of course, I'm not trying to make this the RRR show, but let's be honest. You look at Odium, and outside of President and Cairo, these other 3 players are very much new. Saved himself is 18 years old.
Oh, wow. Gosh, jeez. New people. Well, it makes us feel a bit old, hey? Anyway.
You're telling me.
Yeah, so look, we've got this army on the other side of Nate, but he's actually going to use this to aggress onto the breach instead. Perhaps not the wise choice against Saved, who's got the better gun and got the better scope for that angle.
Yeah, big kill for the young gunner. Good opening onto the breach as well. Nice to see a bit of Mav tricking going on. Also, nice to see Cairo taking a more passive role. Speaking of passive, Tuhan will have absolutely no bar of it as he jumps out and takes down Karma, the Ram. And whatever the plan was to incorporate the Ram in that final execute, dies with him.
Yeah, so it does seem like Odium are going to look for a multifaceted push here. They have the breach open, but that's not going to be their point of contest, right? You've also got President over on the roof. He's going to drone in some of his teammates over onto the con side of the map. But, of course, to meet them on the other side is Logic and Tuhan, who I believe is sitting like right below the Logi hatch. He knows exactly what's going on.
Ooh, that's a bit of a spray. Somehow Bappin flicks him. Logic, mate, you can't be losing those. Bappin once again, but Eddie has just punished a very aggressive Cairo in sight. There's another player in there as well. Odium thought they identified a brief moment, but Eddie, he's going massive! Oh, the 3K, go for 4, why not? Bappin's the last one, and Eddie is hungry for it, I can tell you that.
Give it to him. Come on. Like we were just saying moments ago, Eddie, all reliable, but it's Tuhan to finish off the final kill, and RRR can claim another round.
They really have grasped this advantage back. 3 rounds straight on the defense for RRR. You got to admit, Odium looked damn good in the first 2 rounds, but on the back of that clutch, Mandy, his game has flipped.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy, hey. Like, this is going to be such a back and forth game. I can already tell Odium have got some great ideas, but the response from RRR is just relentless, I think is the word that I'm going to give it to. Right, Odium don't get a moment's peace in this entire game because you have Tuhan, who's sticking his head in doorways. You can't get on the bomb site because Eddie's going to kill 3 of you trying to get onto the bomb site, right? So he does what needs to be done so that the rest of his team can go off and give some chaos over to Odium.
RRR are fighting fire with fire. There is no 2 ways about it. Now they go back to bar stage, the first bomb site that they were able to win. Not going back to gym and bedroom, which they lost very convincingly. But it does seem like there's a bit of a change in tack. I swear there was a castle last time they played the site. Maybe I'm forgetting. There was definitely a dock from Edpan when they were roaming on this top floor.
I don't
or
know.
Maybe I'm crazy.
Yeah, no, you're not crazy because Edpan was definitely playing the dock. I don't know why they've switched. Oh, okay, I see why they've done the Cade, right? They want to keep stuff closed.
Yeah, that's a good strat.
That's fair enough.
And Odium are very fast to breach, so I think the Kaid could be helpful. There's not a lot of util available from Odium to counter that aside from the Maverick. But the other X factor from Odium here is that Blitz pick. Very unconventional for this bomb site.
It is a little unconventional, but remember that the big thing about this bomb site is that you can't just like walk onto the bomb site because you need to first do a mini execute onto the top floor. So that blitz is going to make that explosive execute much more easier. It's going to enable these attackers to run their way on in. Remember, the top floor is rather claustrophobic, especially just outside this jacuzzi breach. You're immediately met by 2 hallways and a bathroom right next to you, essentially, right? So this is a good place to put your blitz if it's reliable enough.
Guess what, Mandy?
What?
Karma has the shield in his back. Do you know why that is?
Because of Solace.
This is what we talked about the other day.
That is genius. I hadn't even thought of that.
So he is not visible to the Solace until he gets the shield out. And as he does,
way.
he rushes straight into the top floor. Cairo finds the opener. Now aiming down sights is a clear mistake because he loses the fight to Logic, but there is a good trade. And at the end of the exchange, Odium are in the 2-player advantage. As I say that, Nate once again forced to clutch, this time against 4.
That was such a genius plan there. Karma just absolutely gate crashed the party that was going on the top floor. Now it's all Nate in the 1 versus 4. They know exactly where he is. There was a drone there, someone covering his angle. Let's Cairo on the other side. And Odium can tie up the scoreline.
That's it, a tied half on the defense for RRR. Odium find 3 attacking rounds. Quite a satisfactory scoreline for Odium there. Bit of respect held in the chat between Saved and Tuhan.
I don't think it's respect, sorry. Yeah, I think you're
I will
giving
say
them too much respect.
There is beef here, but it is mainly between 2 specific players, and I think there are some other players here that are just caught in the crossfire and have mutual respect for one another.
And you think Saved is one of them?
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if
and
he
you
has
think
respect for
Tuhan is
Tui.
the other one? Yeah, I was just saying.
What's funny is a lot of these players that have beef with each other tend to have more in common than they would like to admit.
Yeah?
And that's where I will leave that point as Odium move on to their defense.
I don't want to elaborate anymore. I do not want to elaborate on that anymore. Oh my god, why can't I make sentences today? Why can I
it's
not make a
It's the tantalizing
sentence
excitement of a match of this caliber.
Why is English so difficult?
Speaking of Saved, he has had a pretty good game here. I was a little bit worried in the Nighthaven match that Odium played against Bliss. I think it was like 7 rounds in a row that Saved didn't manage to find a kill. It was like 0-7. He eventually started to find one, but you could just visibly watch from spectating him, even on those roam clears, that he was a little bit scared. And it's great to see that here, in a match which does have a lot of kind of sideline content, if you will, that Saved is not worried at all. He's obviously the newest player, the youngest player in the server right now. And so it's great to see him firing.
Yeah, absolutely. Not just that, but I think it's like every player in the server, right? Like I'm looking at all these score lines and I can't like pinpoint towards one player and be like, ha, you suck, right? Like everyone is doing really well at the moment. So this is a super exciting match so far, especially in these early to mid rounds, which is exactly what we're diving into right now. Logic really early in the building with the Grim in his hands. Oh, not just that, but the hard reach charge as well, so he can immediately start getting those hatches open and cutting off any roamers trying to get their way back to the bomb site from here.
Good breach now from the attacking side, looking to pressure this top floor, but there is a lot of map control to take, Mandy, and this Solus always makes things hard. Pinku will be the tip of the spear here for RRR. He's about to get peeked by Bappen, and that's the opening kill going the way of the attack.
Yeah, good work so far, and it's actually going to force Save to fall off as well. Realizing that his teammate is dead, he's going to vacate his way over inside a strip club. This could be an interesting move here. Nate seems to know, though. Nate seems to have a good idea of what was going on. He's got his... Yeah, he's got his gun up. He knows exactly where he is at the moment. He knows that Saves is rotated over, but I think at the moment for RRR, it's like the decision-making from here. Do you actually deal with the player inside of strip, or do you leave him and you wait for the flank to come through?
Do they actually know yet, or are they just checking?
They do. No, Nate has known the entire time. He's had his gun like aimed through the wall, waiting for things to happen.
There he is. Yeah. The jig is up. Saved is hiding all the way over in strip, and like you said, it's a tough decision now. Do they hunt, or do they wait? It looks like hunt is the name of the game. Pressure from 3 different angles, as Nate is going to go for a breach on one of the other exterior walls. Saved is going to have to land some shots here. This is going to be very challenging for him to come out ahead, but he claims one head as Logic's, and that surely makes this worth it, wasting the time and finding the pick. Is he going to be able to double down? It looks like Edpan is not happy to go and peek.
Yeah, Edpan realizing that with only 30 seconds left to go, they have to press the attack onto the bomb site. Tui with a nice angle on the bottom main stairs, but no kills to come with it.
Oh, and the Vulcan canisters are going to completely lock out the attack, surely. This is going to have to be explosive. We have one entire player from RRR dedicated to holding this flank from Saved. Oh, no! That's not what you want to see! But Pinku does redeem himself with 1 kill, as does Tuhan. Saved caught on the cross. He is the last man standing, and Edpan gets him. What a very strange closing round for RRR, but they can't complain. They got it in the end.
I'll tell you what, Eddie is where you need him to be. Meanwhile, this one guy is 1v1ing the pesky roamer off the bomb site, and he's saying, guys, don't worry about it. I got it. Just execute onto the bomb site right now. There's only 30 seconds left to go. Just go right now. And that explosion that happened onto the bomb site, literally, there was a team kill with a grenade. But that explosion onto the bomb site eventually enabled them that round win. They realized in the dying seconds of the round that that win condition was not going for the roam clear, but to do this. And Pinku had a huge round.
As soon as Nate dies as well, you're really worried, because that's the guy with the fuser as well. You're like, you can't immediately just start planting. Team Nate is never fun, but credit to Pinku. He had such an impact. The first thing he did that round was go upstairs and kill Bappen. And Bappen has been one of the best players in the league so far. I was actually wrong before, Mandy. I went back and double-checked. There are 3 players in this game who are 18 years old. 3 players. Pinku, Bappen, and Saved. And Bappen is the youngest. 10 seconds to insertion.
Whoa, the zoomer.
He is... Like, it makes me feel old. I was already, like, in grade 1 when he was born. I was literally, like, reading books and stuff.
Reading books and stuff?
Yeah, well, what else do you do in grade 1? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah. What do you do in grade 1? I don't know. I wasn't in Australia back then.
I mean,
so,
it's why I can't hit the shots that these guys can hit.
Yeah, there
I'm
you
old
go.
and washed.
While you were reading books, these guys were playing video games.
No,
so.
they weren't born yet.
All right, here we go. They're going to reattempt the basement bomb site as we've been talking all this rubbish once again. It does seem like RRR are going to go in for what is rather a quick roam clear of this map. They're immediately injecting Logic inside of Strip Club. Meanwhile, the top floor has been completely vacated for them. In fact, everything has been vacated for them. All 5 players are left on the bomb site. They've all fallen back, so they have the whole map for free.
Odium love taking free real estate. And Triple R will see whether they are the same. We'll see whether they're as quick on their attacks as Odium are, because Odium have wasted no time whatsoever. Amazingly, only 3 drones have gone down in the first minute of the round, despite this Solus being present. Now, Bappen looks to be contesting the blue stairs at the moment, as Triple R are starting to get clued in now. They're starting to watch these flanks. Bappen is just watching for anyone pushing him. He can also spot anyone droning. He can spot this Gemini as well. He's going to swing it nice and quick. He's actually impacted Pinku. Wow, that's a very curious one. He would have seen him on his gadget. Is it worth for 10 damage, 20 damage, maybe? I don't know.
Well, I think the main thing is, like, they don't really need the impacts that much. Well, they kind of do. There is 2, what are they called, tin can openers on the side of Adpan, so if they do need the impacts for anything, it's probably for that, but that's what Karma is there for, right? So it's not like he needed them, so fair enough, you know, throw one at your enemies and see what happens. Meanwhile, for RRR, though, they have been given this control of the ground floor, as we've been speaking of, and the vertical is starting to come out for them. Of course, that is Edpan on the buck. Meanwhile, Logic can get control of the downstairs, and it's planning time, you know, it's execute planning time, mini-game time if you're Karma.
Ooh.
Oh, he's actually missed both of them.
It.
Uh-oh.
That is so unfortunate. 2 missed impact grenades. Had they landed, Triple R would have been in a spot of bother without that hatch open and without a lot of U2 with no Hibana to then go and breach it. Pinku now moving down the blue stairs. He's there with Logic. Now, Pinku's taken a lot of damage, so he doesn't want to get into gunfights unnecessarily. He might have to just trade for someone.
Yeah, but the tough thing is that this hatch is still closed here in blue, right? So it's not like they can send down the util from there, which is typically where it's going to be. So Pinku's going to rotate himself over to assist with the kitchen hatch cover instead. But here's Eddie trying to put on the dirt pressure at the same time. This execute has got to be explosive for Triple R.
Now, Saved is making the first move. He spots his head and wins the fight. 2 opening picks in the round for Odium, as Nate is trying to get into sight and trying to force that diffuser down, but coming back from Dirt Tunnel once again. Odium have completely shut Logic out of it, and he is running for the hills. He will not give them the satisfaction, but you can see on their faces they'll take it anyway.
Yeah, really good. Good job there, finally. Good plan, I think, to dial it back and go in towards the bump site. You don't want to give Triple R any freebies, especially into their attack, where they can, you know, they can easily take this map control. They're not afraid to get into the fights, and I think ultimately, when you going up against like fearless entries like that, it can be quite scary to play a roam game, right? So I think ultimately the better macro choice to go down and to anchor, especially onto the basement bomb site of all the possible bomb sites they could have gone to.
It's a good read, isn't it?
It's a good read.
I think Odium have realized now maybe playing super aggro at the start of the round isn't the play, because that's what Triple R are expecting. Instead, you wait until the end of the round and then you start to make your plays. You force Triple R to make those last-minute execute calls, and you just wreak havoc with all this insane end-of-round util, like the Fenrir, like the Goyo, like the Mirror. You just look at the slew of operators that the defense has.
Oh, good point.
I mean, the Azami's in as well. It's not even being played here. But Triple R decided to ban Bandit, right? You pick one of the non-superpower operators on the defense to ban, and suddenly, well, there's just a little bit more superpower on the defense.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. Like, all of a sudden you have so many options for yourself, and I think like we're saying now, leaning into that anchor setup, especially on a map like Clubhouse, is probably your go. It's probably a good idea. That being said, though, there is a mirror on the breach rather than on the bomb site. So I wonder what Odium are going for here. Probably to put some pressure out early. Hopefully they can't get that thermite on the wall without at least being a little bit scared, but surely that could easily be dealt with. 2-on's got Selmas.
Yeah, or you could, I don't know, thermite above the mirror, I guess, but...
That's a bit scary.
It is a little scary, but it looks like...
This is less scary.
This is less scary. This is nice and simple, and it will actually be a crouchable hole, so Triple R have the option of entering here from CCTV later, should they decide to.
I think the main thing is that, like, the angle isn't quite on the right side for the cutoff, right? Like, if it's on the right side of the wall, you can't see the window going to server as easily, and so you've got to get someone on the run-on or cutoff. So that's the only criticism I have so far of this take, but that's a very minor one. Meanwhile, I think the rest of the mini-games are where it's going to matter the most.
Yeah, so next up is Jacuzzi Wall, right? This is the big one, and the Con Wall. Con Wall's been opened very early so that there is the ability to cut off any players rotating back from the cash and top red side. Of course, there are 2 defenders doing that currently, and they are indeed falling back now. Just look at Karma and Save standing on top of each other, crossing together. Karma is going to hold in Con for a bit longer. As I say that, he falls on back. So this is once again Odium looking to play time instead of looking to play their life.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. Odium are actually going to give the respect to Triple R and realizing, okay, you know, you can have the space that you want, but when it gets to the bomb site, you can't have that. So I think a good move from them so far. RRR have been relatively slow on the minigames so far. They have waited a little while for those EMPs to rotate over to make sure that they can safely open the Jacuzzi wall. But that has opened up the bomb site. Not only that, but it has also opened up the cache side of the map as well. So now they can really start to encircle these anchors. It's just going to be cautious game so far.
Yeah, RRR have now taken cache and CCTV all the way up to Con. Yummy, yummy free map control for us. But time is ticking away, and there's still so much good util on the defense in the late round that needs to be dealt with.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think the next point of pressure here is going to be Edpan on the windows, trying to ensure that there are no safe spots for the anchor and then enabling his team to make his
Pinku, you got to check the angle. Pinky, are you going to check deep? He knows now. Karma has the info. You have to be diligent here, Pinku. And you are not. Odium erupts. And 2 players left for RRR will desperately look for something back. Logic can find 1. He's been struggling a little bit this game, not fragging to the potential we've seen from before. He has not had the bite to back up his bark. Nate, on the other hand, at the breach, this is very awkward. Odium are playing passive. They're not giving Logic and Nate an inch. As I say that, Nate goes deep, loses the fight with the pistol, and Logic's walking straight into Fenrir Gadgets. They're going to hunt for him. He'll get 1. He might look for another, but he has no information. He has no clue, and Odium will not give him a dime. Another great round for Odium, as Mandy, they have taken the lead.
Yeah, good work there from Odium to play the disciplined game, and I think for RRR, taking their tactical timeout right now is a good idea. I think ultimately they jumped the gun, I would say, on that execute. We were on board with Pinku on the other side of that initial gunfight who was walking into Logi, and that sort of gives us the impression that that execute was a little bit misinformed, I think I would say, right? They had the map control that they needed, they had the breaches open, but there wasn't any simultaneous pushes going on, right? They really sent their bodies in, but without the intel to back it up. So I think ultimately, Odium, they can sit nice and pretty, just wait for the onslaught to come through, and then fire up on the crossfires.
Odium looking very comfortable right now. Saved is enjoying a nice little treat, and Karma's just playing on his handheld gaming device once again. On the flip side, RRR, very solemn and serious faces. Also, I mean, I'm not looking to rip in or anything, but I got to say it. Logic, 2 rounds in a row. The round has been lost for RRR by Logic saving. Obviously, he was never going to win those rounds, but that would essentially mean that he should have 2 more deaths than he does, right? If he did, that would be 9 deaths. He's died every single round.
Yeah, mate, I'm just saying his mental's chalked.
I think he might be chalked. Like looking at the cams and judging by the fact that he's usually used to getting like a 1.5 KD, 1.0 to 1.5. Anywhere in that realm is what you expect out of a player like Log or Pinku or Saved or Cairo, and he's struggling at the minute.
Yeah, it's not such a good look, hey? But it's all right. He's still got a chance at redemption. The scoreline is not that far ahead in Camp Odium, right?
It's true,
it's only
but
5-4.
RRR have been perfect so far, right? They haven't dropped a point, and they lose 1 more round this game, and they drop their first point of the stage.
That's true. That is true. They will fall, and I think it is fair to say that in their 3 matches that they've played so far, this is their toughest opponent by a long, long way. It is a very different caliber of opponent inside of Odium. They've been practicing, they've been hard at work, and in terms of gunplay and aggression, they can certainly match it.
I mean, Mammoth and Desire are no chumps, but RRR definitely playing a much more fearsome opponent right now, and they're truly being tested, and I do wonder if they perhaps got lulled into a false sense of security after their first 2 games. Now they move against Odium, looking for 3 in a row, and if they can get that, they will remain flawless. Odium, though, still on their defense and looking to move to a 3rd different bomb site cache CCTV.
Yeah, right, so the clubhouse checklist begins. It is Karma, who is on the other side of that mirror window looking to secure his kill. That is a dangerous spot to be playing in with someone surely on the rappel on the other side, but he plays it well. Opens up the mirror for pressure. Now Nate feels a bit scared. His Hebes have been GB'd. Actually, meanwhile, Pinku down below is going to claim that kill anyway, so poor Karma, he's walked into the lines of sight of his enemies and been taken down.
Bappin is still in Bok Garage, and there's information on him as well. There's been a few pings his way. There's also a player peeking in bar. That's saved. And someone got aggressive down the bottom of red stairs. He is saved, but he gets taken down. Where was that from? Outside of stock. Was that a wall bang? Or was there a hole in the wall? There was indeed, and saved was a little bit complacent. 2 numbers advantage now in favor of RRR. Make that 3. Bappin is so far from his team. And Triple R know exactly where he is. He's surely a dead man walking. Another kill. And on the back of the tactical timeout, President must 1v5.
Yeah, another big round here coming out from Pinku, who has just been taken down from President, now in a very tough spot on Rafters. He's protected by his keeper barriers, but surely not for long, as Logic actually the one to get down the bomb here. Surely his teammates will eventually land this one. Prez on the other side is able to claim the one onto Edpan, but with the bomb going down, this is a nigh impossible retake.
Mate, never say never. This is winnable. This is possible. Impact, okay, there's a fear concussion. This makes it a bit awkward. Maybe it's no longer winnable. The drop, perfectly timed with the concussion, so Prez would never have heard it coming. And that was effectively a flawless round, a 5 versus 1 for Triple R to get them back in the game.
Yeah, good work from Triple R. Ultimately, they just punished the positioning mistakes there of Odium, right? The first 3 picks of the rounds happened outside of the building. There was just Pinku, who got his double from outside of the double window, double door, going into lounge. And then, of course, Logic getting his one just outside of stock, looking through the wall. So 3 kills going the way of Triple R before they've even taken their step in the building is not a good look on Odium for their defense. And unfortunately, in the man's disadvantage, them trying to go for plays immediately got shut down, and Triple R can convert it.
Amazing how much in this current meta the opening pick matters. More than ever before, I would say. Because once you get that opening pick, the defense typically will get aggressive. And if you're ready for it, you will punish that next pick. And then a 4v5 becomes a 3v5, becomes a 2v5, becomes a round like what we just saw there. Let's remember as well, the very first round of this game was a flawless win by Odium on their attack. Now we're seeing a similar kind of round from Triple R.
I would have to completely agree with you. I feel like at the moment, the meta really leans itself into like taking those, like isolating those early engagements, especially on the defense. It's like, it's really about, if you're spreading yourself thin on the defense, where can you find that initial interaction and then can you win it out, right? So, and then I think from there, like you're saying, it snowballs pretty hard as it stands. So here goes, saved on the secret window, trying to claim a kill of his own. But surely he can't find the timing that Pinku did onto Bap, and that was nuts.
I mean, that's a once in 100 kind of timing. But the Roni, this gun that Sade's got right there on the Mozzie, it hits diff. There's something about it. It's got some magic magnetism to heads. It's not the highest damage weapon out there. It's not the fastest fire rate, but it has something to it.
So here goes Bappin on his fall-off route now, realizing that the roam clear is coming out from Triple R, but actually not playing it cautious enough.
What is he
doing? 2 players! Why are there 2 players on the secret cutoff?
God.
And they get a second one for their efforts too!
What a read! Triple R, why have you got someone outside the spawn in the rafters 45 seconds into the round? That's what Odium's thinking right now.
That is exactly what I'm thinking as well. I mean, the fools, how could they have known, right? The master plan coming out from Triple R, knowing that Odium would play the fall-off route, knowing that they weren't going to hold that top floor for their lives. They poised 2 players, not 1, but 2 on the same cutoff.
It's the kind of like counter-aggressive read that is going to give Triple R a massive advantage here. 5v3, but they need to still deliver. We've seen Prez and Cairo win 2 versus 5s already this stage. Triple R need to be diligent to make sure they waste no time.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, the danger player here is Cairo, who's going to die. Man. Never mind. Oh, no, he's not dead yet. It's Karma. To both the players that start with K. President, though, is going to be taken down. That's going to leave a very tall order for Cairo in the 1v5, and he's going to be taken down from Logic. And that is Triple R on match point and claiming the first point in this series.
The Log versus Cairo culmination to the round to find match point for Triple R. Could you ask for anything better? We were at break point, but Triple R is breaking Odium's back.
Oh my god. I can't believe how that round went down, to be honest. So that's 2 rounds in a row, right? That Triple R have started to play the early game, and they haven't stepped a foot in the building before the first kills happened, right? Those first 2 initial kills were both from cutting off fallout routes. They were both from exactly the same window, of all things. Not only that, but we go in the top down, and there are 2 players looking at the same window.
And then it's just a matter of waiting. Hold an angle and wait. And Karma tries to throw a gadget or something, makes a little mistake. It's that diligence in the mid-round for the attack to just like, guys, let's just sit. Let's just chill out. The defense is going to do something. They'll probably make a mistake. We'll punish them. Apparently, according to our obs, Sky has just messaged me saying that they had a drone in that room watching.
Oh, that's unreal.
So there was a drone
That is
in
unreal.
storage that whole time. Solus is on the board.
Solus is alive.
Solus is alive. We saw her
What's
hunting
going on?
drones upstairs in the prep phase. How are they not finding that drone?
Why? Why is it come to this step?
Wow. There is still so much gas left in the tank for this game, though, Mandy. I can absolutely see Odium
Oh,
pushing
what is this?
OT.
What is this? Yuck! Cairo, he's just made a tiny hole for this little C4 to go through. It's not even open. That doesn't even open.
Yeah, that's dirty.
Ugh.
I like to see it work, but unfortunately, he's not going to get the audio cue to make it happen at the moment. The key for Odium here, do not forfeit opening pick. Too many times it's happened! But Karma!
Happening again!
You've been read like a book once again! Detected outside, injured, saved, will try to save his life. But Logic will, of course, deliver the killing blow with the nade.
Oh man, Save sticking his head in the breach immediately after that's just happened and scared me so much. Oh my god. But anyway, it's alright, he's gotten away with his life, that's okay. Meanwhile, the rest of RRR are going to be pretty happy with that one going down. Remember, the bomb site is gym and bedroom, so getting that first pick onto Cash is not bad. Certainly not bad, and is going to open up half of the map for them, except that Bappin is down below, so there is a little bit of resistance to me bet on the other side.
Gym and bedroom was the first bomb site, well, second bomb site technically, that Odium have won, but it has not yet been broken by the attack of RRR in this map. And so if there's anywhere they're going to do it, they're going to push overtime. This is the bomb site. But Bappin, he needs to wake up. This is not the Bappin of week one. A far cry from it.
Cairo on the other side has got that C4 prepped for the common window, but it doesn't connect. No player there on the other side. Saved is going to try and make his way out. Cairo, of course, holding his hand on the fall-off, so good job so far from Odium on this roam. They have wasted some time here. I would say sufficient time, in fact. Not just that, but here we go. There is still a presence on the ground floor as well, but Edpan seems very aware of it. Once again, this is his position. He's just going to hold on to the back of his team while they can move on for the forwards push.
And this cutoff is being watched well and truly.
Yeah, the flank watch is there, man.
Eddie is so diligent. Saved has gone down. And with that, Odium must get desperate. An aggressive peek. Bappin finds Tui, but the trade is imminent. President and Cairo to hold in the 2v4 to push overtime.
Cairo, though, so close to landing the shot just outside of the breach. It's President to watch diligently for this Logi house drop. Numbers advantage in the hands of RRR. Not just that, but match point, series point, and 3 points on the card. With only 30 seconds left to do it, it's Odium to try and make their comeback.
Holding angles now. President wins that. Log's gone down. Cairo's holding a perfect position. He's detonated that Vulcan canister. That will ring out till the end of the round. And he's found a kill on Nate. 2 versus 2 Presidents! He falls! All up to Cairo to push into overtime. And Pinku's got no clue. Information on the red ping, but there is no time. Round the corner, Cairo! Overtime is on the cards. Cairo's fired up. And Odium are certainly not done yet.
On the brink of defeat, who do Odium call upon? It's Cairo. Time and time again, the clutch king so far of stage 2. Oh,
that is
my
savage.
God. No way.
Bye-bye Major in the chat. Cairo is savage, and mid-game he is looking to get into RRR's head. The game is not over yet, but RRR are no longer flawless. They will still top the standings no matter what, Mandy, because they have 1 point. They will be ahead of Kelton's Knights and Bliss at the end of this playday. But keep in mind, they haven't played Kelton's Knights or Bliss yet. They haven't played Aerial or Rise yet. The 2 teams that RRR have beat flawlessly are at the bottom of the standings.
No, man. The Major is still in their hands.
The
That's all I'm
Major's-
saying. RRR right now need to be like, they either have to have him muted, or they need to be like, yo, relax, that's cap. You know, it's still in our hands. They can still do it.
I heard from the Observer that Logic muted Cairo as soon as they entered the pre-game lobby.
I mean, that's the play, though, honestly. I reckon that's the play. If you get in here, and you get the all chat in, that's the danger zone, man. That's not good.
We know that both these teams like to talk, but there's something satisfying about letting your gameplay do the talking.
And that's exactly it. And if you're Cairo, you are certainly letting the gameplay do the talk. For
He
all
wants
the
his
talking,
cake and eats it too.
for all the talking that Cairo does, he's certainly been backing it up so far in this stage, right? So that guy's been doing good on the clutches. Anyway, so here's Pinku, realizing that he does not want to be cut off, and he's going to fall back with the safety of his Azami gate. Meanwhile, that leaves Eddie, oh no, it's actually Tuhan and Logic all alone on the top floor.
Gonna say, speaking about people that have turned up, ooh, Log, is he gonna get away?
Log. Oh god.
I want to talk about
Scary.
Log. We pointed out when he was 4 and 7, he's now 10 and 8. 6 kills to 1 death
Oh yeah, not bad.
in the last couple of rounds. That's not half bad.
That is not half bad. That is one way to come back into it. So here we go. It is overtime, of course. Logic still holding strong on this top floor. They are looking for that full extension, of course. They're actually playing this really aggressive too. They're anticipating that breach to come out from Jacuzzi, and they've actually got a pre-placed C4 in it too. So Odium are going to have to be very careful in their approach to the building.
Look at Nate's position. Keep that in the back of your mind in the late round. Will Odium drone that hyper-aggressive, high-risky position? Oh, Tuhan! You got baited perfectly and saved. He looked like he was about to get swung, but indeed he is the one to do the swinging. And Logic, at the drop of a hat, decides, I don't think this is my moment. I think I must fall back and hope that Nate doesn't get droned.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing, right? Yes, Logic has to fall back, but he also has to bait for Nate. He can't just leave Nate all on his own, otherwise he's going to get droned out at some point. So this is a real high-risk, high-reward play here for RRR. I don't think President has any idea what he's walking into.
Prez has got to be the player to die as well. He almost kills Nate, and Nate is now going to run back through the dirt tunnel. I thought he would be one and done there, but he gets back to site safely. That is exactly what RRR are looking for. Goodbye to Prez's hard breach.
Yeah, that's a big move there from RRR and a pivotal player to be taking down, like you're saying. That hatch there is carried by Edpan, and there is no more hard breach to open up that hatch. There's no way that surely Kyrie cannot open up that one, right? He's only got one more canister, so you can only open up this one inside of Moto. That's really limiting the push options here for Odium. Save down at the bottom main stairs. It's going to try and create an opening for his team, but the discipline of RRR will surely push this one over the line.
RRR absolutely favored right now. But Odium, we know what they can do in a pinch. It doesn't take much. One kill here from Karma could open the round. Is he going to check his hard corners? Nate perfectly times the swing. But elsewhere, Saved has found his second for the round. Bappin to move down. If there's any time for this man to wake up, it's now. But an ninja will not be enough. Pinku with 2 more. A sigh of relief for RRR as match point is once again within their grasp.
And the moment that Odium lose focus, the tiniest bit of detail left unchecked is immediately spoiled by RRR. And that is their way to push themselves to what is this second opportunity at a match point. And now is where they're going to take their tactical timeout as well. This is essential now for Odium to dial it back and to have a think, because if they lose this one, that is them throwing away that second point.
And all it came down to was Nate's rat position and the fact that it was President. It's amazing how much of a difference that makes. But of course, a lot of this started when RRR took their timeout just a few rounds ago. And now, of course, Odium will respond in turn.
Mate, all I'm saying is President's at the top of the scoreboard. I know he's not saved as actually taken.
That's pretty damn close.
That's ridiculous, man. This guy was copping mad strays on Twitter, yeah? And now, like, all of a sudden, he's just taken that fire and gone, man,
it looks
I need to kill these guys.
I mean, Bappin's 5 and 9, Karma's 4 and 11. It's a rough game for a couple of these guys. But, I mean, you can't deny it. There's been a lot of very impact moments. A credit to, I think it was Karma, right, who had that huge 2K in round 1. That essentially won the round. So, of course, there's impact as well. It's not just volume. It's not just quantity. It's quality.
Damn. That's some philosophy for life there as well. Like, you can't just look at the scoreboard and get excited about it. Anyway, so we're going to go down to the defense, basement defense here for Odium. So of course they're going to have an opportunity to defend the exact same bomb site that their opponents did as well. So they're going to be tested in the exact same way. It does look like they are going for a rather similar philosophy as well, utilizing that solace to extend up over into all 3 floors of the map, try and play that fall off roam game. Now remember, the last time that they tried to fall off from this bomb site, they were caught slacking. They were caught with their pants down their ankles. So hopefully it doesn't happen again, because that was scary.
Well, it's always the balance, the eternal balance on Clubhouse Basement. To roam, to not to roam. To sight or not to sight. What is the balance here for Odium? Because Triple R, like you said, too slow last time. Bappin is once again on this roam by himself. The Solace, an invitation to any drones looking to hunt him down.
Bro's definitely going to check for the drone inside of storage this time, surely, right? Okay, here we go. Be very careful, Bappin. You're in the danger zone. Triple R are mounting their attack now into that top floor. It does look like they are going to go for that full sweep. Bappin, mate, not again. What's going on? Oh, please do not fall out of secret. Okay, that's not good.
Log.
That is not good.
No, that is not good.
That's very bad.
With how many times the opening kills have converted to rounds, this game, Triple R could be so happy about that one. Log, like we said, completely transformed. He was 4 and 7, and since then he's got 8 kills to 1 death.
Yeah, Log's got to keep this stint going for this potential final rounds, though. Getting his elbows out as he goes to look for that cutoffable net. Triple R, their first pick of what is potentially the final round. Pinku as well is going to do his due diligence of sweeping out the rest of the top floor. They do not want to fall to the same mistake that they punished Odium for. They want to clear out every single nook and cranny of the map and convert this last one.
Leave no stone unturned, or else you might suffer the same fate as Odium did last round with Nate in kitchen. But of course, for every stone you turn, you waste 10, 15 seconds. For every position you check, that time bleeds away. And it was time that was the enemy of Triple R the last time they attacked this bomb site. Where is this mid-round? Where is Saved?
He's here holding on to this main stairs position, but there are 2 attackers that are encircling him. That's Pinku just about to round the corner. But he does get away with his life. Saved, now safe with his teammates on the bomb site.
Safe for how long, I wonder. Nate's already taken a bit of damage, so a bit awkward if he tries to drop the hatch in the late round. Speaking of, that hatch is still solidified. Same can be said for the Moto hatch. Edpan needs to stop wasting time opening up the floor and start getting to work on this hatch. Will the impact trick work this time for Karma? That's 3 missed impact tricks for this man.
Yeah, that's rough. So that is Army Gate. He's going to allow him to fall off to safety. Meanwhile, President just taking a lot of damage from that grenade. Pinku no longer has those in his hands, but he can actually claim the life of Nate. So 4 on 4 with 25 seconds left to go. The triple wall's being open and the pressure is on.
This needs to be explosive. Pinku finds one, but Saved to take down Tuhan. It may be what Odium need. Triple R are falling once again. Log cannot get the angle. Give him a chance. Eddie and Logic to clutch in the 2v2, but Saved is turning it up here for Odium. Of course, 15 rounds. I would expect nothing less.
And there we go, it's Saved now, who I believe is leading the grid on kills. Getting his elbows out finally with that Mozzie in that final position inside of Moto. Could take that fight 1-1, close it out for Odium, and it's going to send us all the way into round 15. We're going to need to go the full way to decide this one.
And the beauty of it, neither team is allowed to walk away with the full 3 points. Neither team gets the satisfaction of a convincing win. But who gets the last laugh? The question still remains. We're about to find out in the next 3.5 minutes' time.
This has been a good time so far, Dev. This has been a fantastic match to watch. But someone's got to gate crash the party. That's all I'm saying. This is the final chance for both these teams.
This is the best game I've casted in a long time, man.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been real good.
Honestly, keep your BDS and your FaZe clan. I want to cast Odium and Triple R.
Yeah. Oh, these 2 teams have been absolutely relentless so far, and we can all start to see these individual players really starting to fire up, go on their stint of kills, just absolutely gun down for it, because this is the round where it matters.
Attackers are moving to defuse.
Every kill matters in this round. We're here, 5 versus 5, with 2 minutes and 50 on the clock. The bomb site is a defense for Triple R over on Cash CCTV. And Odium have the task of attacking it. Saved has been pretty gnarly this game. His 15 kills so far, he just misses a 16th as Logic is able to briefly edge away into the hallway. Such a missed opportunity there for Odium.
Lots of drone work going out for Odium. They really do not want to drop a single detail in this last round. They know that there's a roam presence going down on the ground floor, and they really want to clear it. The next point of contest is not just Logic, but it's actually Tuhan over on the main stairs as well. That's really going to stunt this push happening down from the ground floor. But meanwhile, that's not the only bit of attention that Odium are given to the map, right? They also need to start working their way in towards the bomb site too. So we've got the Logic control starting to amount towards them. Not just that, but I can only imagine that the wall has been opened as well. So yeah, that's part of the checklist already done. It's just about formulating this final execute for Odium if they want to close it out.
It's not a question of whether they want to, it's a question of whether they are able to when the pressure is turned up to 11. Because in the last minute and a half, there's not been a ton achieved, realistically. Look, even the construction wall is still solid. Here's Tui. Oh, punished.
I think the big thing here for Odium is not telegraphing what they want to do yet, right? Just get open everything you possibly can and take every opportunity. And the one that they found is Tuhan on the top of main stairs. That's allowed them now control inside of Con, where they're starting to converge their players.
Oh, Log, no!
What's going on here? A player outside of the kitchen hallway is going to be taken down very low. That's Bappin on the other side, his counterpart.
Log is in a very awkward position now, and Bappin has gone for a frag. Log detected on the jump out. He can be completely cut off here by Karma, and Odium will simply ignore him.
And Odium really have to start to watch for this aggression here from RRR. They are down in the man count in the final round with 40 seconds left to go. It's about timing this aggression, and it's all going to start with Logic making his way inside of Con and can get the down onto Bappin.
He gets that fight, and he brings this man advantage a little bit down for Odium, but Prez takes the opportunity to go into sight. He's looking for a safe place to plant, knowing that there is a Solus below. But is Logic aware of it? What an angle for Prez! With the immediate trade, the double! He's found 3 on the round! And now he looks for this diffuser to be planted. He can call it out. And Eddie must support. Can he see the top of the head? 4 kills for Logic! As Cairo, once again, must find the clutch. It's Logic versus Cairo for the game. Logic to stick this defuse. Cairo must get it. He must find the angle, but Logic is hunting him still. Cairo just has to play for time. The dog can bark, but it bites harder still. Logic clutches up with the ace, and RRR will take the victory.
And there is no better way to have closed out this series than Logic getting an ace for RRR. It took us all 15 rounds to get here, Death. It took us all the way, and it was a bit yoinky-sploinky at times. But we finally managed to close this one out.
Holy fucking moly, that was a game.
Oh God, you're allowed to say that on the broadcast?
I don't even care at this point. What was that? That is one of the greatest games of Oceanic Siege I've ever seen. What a story. I just can't wait until we get to get that guy in an interview.
Oh my God, I can't believe what we've just watched, man. There was some like unreal things going on in that game.
You literally could not have scripted it better.
No, you couldn't have. That's unreal.
Man down, RRR. Final round, 7-7. Plant going down. Logic comes up, and he aces. He was a dead man walking.
Yeah, man, no way. And it was Cairo and Logic in the 1v1 as well. You could not have written a more perfect script.
I swear. This is not scripted. This is just how it happened. And I think there was a bit of a calamity on the couch. I hope you guys are ready for this.
I think I'm to a mother, Hammy. What on God's green earth has just happened? Every storyline you could have asked for. President popping off, one of the top players in the game after all the crap talk. Logic aces in a 1v1 against Cairo to win it.
It's an ace with the last kill being Cairo in a 1v1 retake.
And we were saying throughout this game, oh, wouldn't it be great if there was like at least 1v1 between them, the game? And then we said, I think it was during the last round, have they even seen each other during this entire game?
Oh.
And then it comes down to the 1 versus 1 for an ace clutch. That has got to be...
That's scripted.
The state of affairs.
Tell you what.
The state of affairs.
Seriously, I have been... casting this region, I think, for what, like 4.5, 5 years or whatever now. I've literally never seen an end to a game like that. And on every metric, just absolutely insane.
Yeah, that's up there. And look, I tell you what, I'm so glad that Devin Mandy were casting that because I just...
You don't even know.
I would have lost my shit.
You would have blown a gasket.
Yeah. He blew a gasket anyway.
He'll probably have a heart attack.
Probably.
He's already out of
So, well, I mean, look, it's a strange kind of game, and Guz said it off air when we were sort of talking about it, but a lot of the rounds actually weren't that particularly close, and in some ways it was kind of boring to begin with. The first half really wasn't probably living up to expectations, despite somewhat of a close scoreline. And I'll say as well, Saved, what a game from him. President, what a game from him. Those two absolutely rose to the occasion. Logic was awful to begin, 4 and 7,
Yep.
and then just bloody brought it home, apparently. Man's just flipped the script and look, and ends up going to overtime. Kyra then says bye-bye Major.
Yep.
And then obviously Logic with the ace to win it in the last round and killing Kyra. It had everything right.
Honest to God, you could not have asked for a better end to that match for the overtime. We were sitting there, we're like, oh, Logic's absolutely stuffed here. Logic's stuck in kitchen.
yeah.
How else is he going to get back? The only player that could deny plan.
He
Insane.
He used his impact, so he couldn't even get down the hatch, so he had to make that play through stock. And I mean, just...
Which he barely won.
Like, that last round, I don't think... I mean, people realize, but they don't realize. Like, the statistical chance of that happening...
It was a 2 versus 4.
An ace is incredibly rare. Winning a clutch like that's incredibly rare. Winning a clutch in the post, and he also did it against his best friend. I mean, it couldn't get much better than that.
So, just for context, a 2 versus 4 to send us to overtime from Logic and President, and then a 2
GGEs.
versus 4.
I missed the GGEs, by the way, from Too Hard in the chat.
Oh my God. What a game.